I am making this announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, Laws of the State of New Jersey. The Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of the meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2025. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of this schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall, and has mailed true copies of this schedule to the local source in the Star Ledger, and is maintaining a copy of this schedule in her office during the year 2025. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regard to this meeting. Please stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Karlovich.
Here.
Councilman Boyle.
Here.
Councilman Finestrella.
Here.
Councilwoman Giordano Paserno.
Here.
Councilman Morrow.
Here.
Councilman Piper.
Here.
And Councilman Scurries.
Here.
You have quorum.
I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of October 15, 2025, and the executive session of October 15, 2025.
Motion. Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Giordano Paserno, seconded by Councilman Piper. Roll call?
Councilman Boyle.
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Giordano Paserno.
Yes.
Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Piper.
Yes.
And Councilman Scurries.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, I'm going to go a little out of turn here this evening. Our borough engineer has another commitment, so I'm going to have him come up and give his report now.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Thank you for
course.
accommodating my schedule. I'll be brief, just an update on capital improvement projects. The bids for the boulevard sidewalks, this is a rebid, are due tomorrow. We bid all 6 blocks, so we bid them as alternate, so, we'll see how it fits into the budget. There's also a pre-construction meeting tomorrow to kick off the parking lots here at the municipal building. Those will be done this year, pre-construction meetings tomorrow. The meeting is more to work out logistics, how we're going to move cars around, because, we're doing all the lots, so we got to make sure that when we do the police lot, they have places to park, et cetera, so that's got to get worked out. The work at the Mario for the walking path has started.
Yeah, that's
That's
great.
underway, that will also be finished this year. And then lastly, Public Service paved Market Street, at least the majority of it. They paved from Passaic to Colfax. The portion from Passaic Boulevard is being deferred because there's still work to be done there. The plans are to reconstruct and expand the substation. There's still some underground dump work that has to be run. We really could, in that timeline, it's probably like a year to 2 out. We really couldn't wait on Market Street. I mean, it was a war zone, everybody knows.
Yeah,
It's just
terrible.
terrible. Something had to be done. So at least the majority of it's done, the worst part of it's done. If somebody comes down the road, water company, gas company, we'll just have to redo it if they disturb it. Gas company's been telling us they're going to be running new mains, but we can't get a commitment out of them. It was going to be this year, now they're saying maybe the end of next year, but we really don't know. So, to sit around and be held hostage by them, really not fair to the borough, not fair to the business owners on Market Street. So, interestingly, about 2 months ago, I got a call from one of the business owners. They told me that a truck hit a bump, tire flew off, and smashed into the front door.
Jeez.
So, I mean, the reason they called me was just to let me know that, that the road was in bad shape. We know that, and we haven't.
Can we fill those in, like if they're really bad, all the way up? I thought you said it wasn't 100% finished.
Down to, under right by the credit union, right?
Yeah, it's from Passaic all the way to Colfax,
Uh-huh.
it's done now.
Right,
Passaic to the boulevard, actually.
right, but is that where is this big pothole located?
Do that page over.
Oh, that is, so it's
Yeah.
fixed, this specific pit, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was down for, the worst part of it actually is where they did, the piece, part from Passaic to the boulevard.
Right, okay.
It's bad, but it wasn't as bad, so the worst part is Came out pretty good, they do a good job.
Yeah, it does look nice.
Yeah, so at least that part of it's done, and then we'll get the rest done in time. So, that's all I have.
Tony, can I ask you about the senior parking lot painting?
Yeah.
Would we be able to do it when we paint the lines at Borough Hall?
Yeah.
And can we make sure that we get it on there?
Yeah, it's going to be done at the same time, so
Okay.
that'll be done this year. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Again, thank you for accommodating me.
Of course. I have 3 proclamations this evening, and it's also so nice to see so many of our veterans here this evening. Welcome. The first proclamation is to honor our retired Robert Walters, crossing guard, and I believe the chief is going to accept the proclamation on his behalf. We're honoring him for his dedicated service to Kenilworth as a crossing guard. Robert Walters began his service to the Borough of Kenilworth as a crossing guard with the Kenilworth Police Department on September 4, 2012. For over a decade, he stood as a steadfast guardian of our children's safety. Robert faithfully served at the intersection of Kenilworth Boulevard and 18th Street, where his presence became a daily reassurance to families and a familiar comfort to all who passed by. Robert has been a beloved figure in our community, greeting each day with a smile, a wave, and a watchful eye, earning the admiration of children, parents, and colleagues alike. His dedication has gone far beyond the call of duty, braving rain, snow, and the occasional squirrel traffic jam, all while ensuring that every child crossed safely and every parent breathed a little easier. Robert's presence at the crosswalk has become a cherished part of the daily rhythm of Kenilworth life, and his absence will be deeply felt by all who had the pleasure of knowing him. And while we suspect he may not miss the early mornings or the winter winds, we know he will miss the smiles, the high fives, and the honks of appreciation from passing cars. Now therefore, I, Linda Karlovich, Mayor, on behalf of the Borough of Kenilworth, do hereby proclaim our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to Robert Walters for his years of dedicated service and wish him a joyful, relaxing, and well-deserved retirement. Let it be known that Robert will always have the right of way in our hearts. In witness hereof, I hereunto sign my name officially and cause the seal of the Borough of Kenilworth to be fixed this 5th day of November 2025. Congratulations, Robert. You see this? Thank you. I'm going to walk around. Saving me. I could use the steps.
No worries. Real quick on behalf of Mr. Walker. He doesn't like when I call him that for many years, so please call me Bob. Bob is one of those guys who's got, as big as he was, as his stature, his heart was just as big. To have a person like that, to lose a person like that, to retirement, is hard for us, because I'm about 6'3", 6'4", he was about 6'6". And dressed in yellow, you can see him from Michigan Avenue all the way up on
You always just tell me, get that sign up higher.
For those that know Bob, like I said, he was not just a crossing guard, he was family to everybody. All these kids that walk by every day, always gave him a big high, big smile. And speaking with Bob, unfortunately he cannot be here tonight. Very thankful for all the years and all the love that we've given him over the years. And he said, thank you for all the good years, and when it comes down to it, I wish him the best in his retirement. So thank you very much, and I'll pass this on.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, our next proclamation is the 250th anniversary of the United States Marine Corps. Whereas the United States Marine Corps has proudly served our nation for 250 years, embodying the highest ideals of courage, honor, and commitment. Since its founding on November 10, 1775, the Marine Corps has played an instrumental role in defending our freedom and upholding the values of democracy. The brave men and women of the Marine Corps have fought valiantly in numerous conflicts, embodying the spirit of resilience and sacrifice in service to our country. And whereas the Marine Corps have been a source of pride for communities across the nation, including the Borough of Kenilworth, where we honor their service and valor. Whereas it is important that we recognize and celebrate the rich history and enduring legacy of the Marine Corps as we reflect on their contributions to our society and the world. The 250th anniversary serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made by the Marines throughout history and the unwavering dedication of those who continue to serve today. Now therefore, on behalf of a grateful community, I, Linda Karlovich, the Mayor of the Borough of Kenilworth, do hereby proclaim November 10, 2025 as the 250th anniversary of the United States Marine Corps Day in the Borough of Kenilworth, New Jersey, and urge all our citizens to take a moment of honor to recognize the commitment and bravery of our Marines, both past and present, and to participate in commemorative events that celebrate the significant milestone. In witness hereof, I, Mayor Linda Karlovich, have hereunto signed my name officially and cause the seal of the Borough of Kenilworth to be affixed this 5th day of November 2025.
Hoorah!
And I also have a proclamation honoring Veterans Day 2025. Whereas on November 11, 1918, the armistice-ending major hostilities of World War I took effect at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and our nation has since set aside November 11th as a day to honor the service and sacrifice of all United States military veterans. Whereas the men and women of our armed forces, past and present, have stood watch on land, at sea, and in air to defend our Constitution, safeguard our freedoms, and uphold the values of liberty and justice for all. The courage, integrity, and selfless devotion of veterans from every generation, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Cold War, the Gulf War, and the post-9/11 era have preserved our way of life and strengthened our communities. The Borough of Kenilworth recognizes that military service also asks much of veterans' families, whose love, resilience, and support sustain our service members at home and abroad. Whereas we further recognize and express deep gratitude to the dedicated members of the Kenilworth VFW, Post 2230, and the Kenilworth American Legion, Post 470, whose ongoing service, leadership, and commitment to honoring fellow veterans and supporting our community embody the highest ideals of patriotism and civic duty. Whereas it is fitting and proper that the people of Kenilworth express profound gratitude to all who have worn the uniform of the United States Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard, and that we reaffirm our commitment to ensuring veterans receive the care, benefits, and opportunities they have earned. Veterans Day offers every resident an opportunity to reflect on the price of freedom, to teach future generations the meaning of service, and to honor those who place duty above self. Now therefore, I, Linda Karlovich, Mayor of the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim November 11, 2025 as Veterans Day in the Borough of Kenilworth, and encourage all residents, businesses, and community organizations to join in honoring our veterans with appropriate ceremonies and observances, to display the flag of the United States with respect, and to pause in gratitude at 11 a.m. to remember the valor and sacrifice of those who served. In witness hereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the Borough of Kenilworth to be fixed this 5th day of November. Thank you so much for your service.
Mayor, would you come and take a picture? Of course. Everybody, come on. All in. You, come on, go around. There's all the guys standing in the back.
Get back there.
All in the photo.
All members is voted.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No speech.
Okay, I just have one announcement. We are still doing the food drive for St. Teresa's Church. They desperately need donations. There's a box downstairs that you can drop food off, and also at the rectory. And I'm going to move on to the finance report, Councilman Morrow.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Tonight, I'd like to actually be very clear and explicit in my report. I want to do this because of recent flyers I've seen mailed around in town, where it seemed as if some on the governing body were not fully aware of the details we're voting for on things like budgets. So I wanted to take some time today to go over what's on the agenda. I also then saw some comments on Facebook where it was somewhat of a disingenuous spin on the way town finances are being managed and reasons for tax increases, so I may do this at every meeting. In the spirit of that statement, there are a few finance-related items on tonight's agenda that I'll point out before we vote on them. Resolution 25-234, Annual Best Practices Survey. This survey consisted of 70 questions, of which 50 questions are scored for a total of 43.5 points, and then 20 unscored answers. Municipalities must score at least 32 points to keep 100% state aid. The Borough of Kenilworth scored a 40.5 and is set to receive 100% state aid because of it. Thank you, Ken. Resolution 25-236 is authorizing our CFO to do annual transfers. Resolution 25-238 is requesting state approval for dedication by riders for trust fund accounts. This is a resolution required by the state, so we're going to be passing it tonight. Resolution 25-243, deferred school tax, also required by the state. We raise the school tax levy on a calendar year, but it is paid over to the Board of Ed on the school fiscal year, which is July 1st through June 30th, 2026. Lastly, I'd like to remind everyone that fourth quarter taxes are due on Monday, November 10th, and that is for without interest, not penalty. And that's it for tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Department of Public Works, Councilman Boyle.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a lot today. During October 2025, the DPW incurred the following time off: 128 on-the-job injury hours, 48 sick hours, 184 vacation hours, and 8 personal hours. And during October 2025, the department incurred 267 hours of overtime. The next bi-weekly borough-wide recycling pickup of bottles, cans, and type 1 and 2 plastics is Wednesday, November 12th, due to Veterans Day falling on Tuesday. And that's all I have. I just wanted to say congratulations to Councilman Scarice and Morrow. Looking forward to another year. Thank you, Pat.
Yep, congratulations. I congratulated them, but I will do that again as well.
Thank you.
Department of Public Safety, Councilman Fenestrella.
Thank you, Mayor. For October, the Kenilworth Police Department responded to 1,496 calls for service and 249 911 calls. There were 375 hours of overtime for the month. The overtime breakdown is as follows: 112 hours scheduled patrol overtime, 24 hours dispatch overtime, 9 hours patrol, 12 hours DB call-in, 21 and a half hours SWAT call-out, 4 hours municipal court, and 16 hours arrive program. KPD completed 387 hours of training, issued 270 traffic summonses, and had 12 arrests for the month. There were 10 sick days and 1 sick occurrence. There were 0 on-the-job injuries. KPD received 215 flock hot list alerts from the stationary cameras throughout the borough. On October 22nd at 1 p.m., the Kennewick Police Department hosted its Coffee with a Cop at the Senior Citizen Center building. They had a large gathering of residents, members of the Kennewick Police Department. They discussed several concerns with the public regarding senior scams, parking and speeding issues, e-bike, and bicycle safety. We thank everyone for attending. On October 25th, the police department provided light towers and assisted with security for the rec department's spectacular. No issues to report. On October 27th, the police department provided security for the Carve It Out event at Borough Hall. No issues reported. On October 30th, the police department provided extra crossing guards and police presence for the children trick-or-treating on the borough. There was no issues. That's October 31st. Message from the chief, please be very careful when driving at night. Since now we've turned the clock back, it gets darker earlier. Please be cautious of kids playing in and near leaf piles. Do not park on leaf piles, as your hot muffler can cause a fire. As always, please notify the Kennewick Police Department to report a complaint or nuisance. We can't help if we don't know about it. And one other last note, I didn't notice it, but the chief said there was another speeding, telling you how fast you're going westbound.
We just, yesterday, they just put it up, there's another permanent radar sign board, they're at Boulevard at 10th Street, to work with the one that's on the other side, monitoring traffic coming from Cranford, distance monitoring traffic leaving Kennewick. It should help slow down the traffic on the west end of the boulevard. Everybody knows once you get past 8th Street right over there, people have a tendency to move a little faster. We're doing everything in our power. When we have resources-wise and officers on the radar, that's seen a difference already. If people see it, they say slow down, and automatically people are slowing down. Of course, radar is still going to be enforced in those areas. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Planning and Zoning, Councilman Scurries.
Thank you, Mayor. Dunkin' Donuts project for the Big Dunkin' drive-thru has received an extension, which is they have till November 24th of 2027 to complete their project. The 8th Street Durham School Bus Services still owes the borough some escrow. Project, the subdivision of the house that was on 320 North 21st Street, the house has been demolished, and I guess that project is proceeding. We have front yard on North 17th Street. Fence is still in the same place. They're supposed to be working with Christian. It should be moved back. Let's see. This side. 222 North 19th Street. Francisco Puglisi wanted to convert a garage to living space. That was approved at the last planning board meeting. Cell tower replacement, 528 Boulevard by Verizon. They need to replace their cell tower. Another cell tower at the water tower, also from Verizon. They're looking to do that. Let's see, we have a side addition application for South 19th Street. Another application to convert a one-family to a two-family on North 15th Street. And another subdivision around 252 Boulevard, and that application has been received. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Recreation and Fire, Councilman Piper.
Thank you, Mayor. I will start with the recreation report. The basketball registrations are currently open. Holiday house decorating contest is open for registration until Sunday, December 14th. There is ice skate night on December 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Warnaco Sports Complex in Warnaco Park. The roller skate night is on December 30th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Woodbridge Sports Arena. Registrations are open and are required for the house decorating contest, basketball, and skate nights. And the fire department report for October. During the month of October, the fire department responded to 39 calls. During these incidents, the fire department traveled 145 miles and utilized 140 man-hours. The fire department rescue squad responded to 36 calls, traveling 337 miles, and utilized 162 man-hours. So during the month of October, the fire department and the rescue squad completed 126 hours of training. Additional man-hours utilized during October: the administrative, 271, stipend, 1,426, building maintenance, 10, rescue squad administrative, 15, KFD open house, 13. So the total calls for the month were 75, the total miles traveled were 482, and the total man-hours were 2,163. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Health, Education, and Welfare, Councilwoman Giordano Picerno.
Thank you, Mayor. The Board of Education has their next regular meeting Monday, November 10th at 7 p.m. And the second strategic planning meeting will be held that Wednesday, November 12th at 6:30. You can still register. I encourage everyone who is interested to come. It was a really good experience of sharing ideas and suggestions. You can just go online, Board of Education website, and register to attend. The library has two very special programs coming up. November 13th at 4 o'clock for children 2 to 8 is Dinosaurs Arise, and November 17th at 6 p.m. for adults, it's Watercolors Fall Wreath Workshop. We are also at our next meeting going to discuss the upcoming 26 holiday closings or any modifications to the schedule. This past summer, the library was open on Saturdays, and it was well attended, so they're looking at what they may want to enhance or modify for the 26th year. The Health Department, Joanna Gunning is our new secretary, and she has started and attended the first meeting. Really nice person, so I'm sure that transition is going to be seamless. And the next meeting is November 20th at 7. The Senior Center will be closed on November 11th in observance of Veterans Day, and there will be the free blood pressure and blood sugar screening on November 17th. And just to remind seniors that we do provide free shuttle service Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 10 and 2, especially in the colder weather. So if it's a little chilly or snowy or rainy, call up for a shuttle so you can still attend the functions at the senior center, or if you have to get to the store or a doctor appointment, we have that service. Please utilize it. And the phone number is 908-868-4180. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Borough CFO.
Thank you, Mayor. Just best practices, it was submitted already because it was due by October 24th. And just that we, thank God we got our score that we needed to keep 100% of our stadium. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
And what exactly, the state keeps cutting our rate, are they actually still giving us anything at all?
Yes.
Because every year is like another $350,000.
No, we haven't, it's been level for us. The Board of Ed is separate, so, but for municipalities, we haven't seen an increase at all, but it's been staying level.
And if they cut the board, though, they're just going to ask us for more money, so in de facto, it's still going to affect our taxes, though. So are they still helping the board, or?
What's that?
You know, I guess you don't know really what the board's
I
getting or
don't know
not
what they're
getting?
going to get for
Okay.
next year. It's not, nothing's out for that yet, so.
Okay, just curious, thank you.
You're welcome.
Borough Attorney.
Good evening, Mayor. I have nothing for public consumption this evening. I just want to congratulate Councilman Scurisi and more on their re-election.
Great.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Is there a need for executive session this evening at all? Do you have anything? Okay. Okay. Borough Administrator.
I'm very happy to announce that the borough was awarded the Union County Greening Grant in the amount of $4,000 and the 2025 Kids Recreation Trust Grant in the amount of $60,000. Also, the Kenilworth DPW is launching 2 seasonal initiatives aimed at reducing landfill waste, promoting sustainability, and lowering municipal disposal costs. The first project is the pumpkin recycling program. It's in a partnership with Union County, and Kenilworth is a designated drop-off site. So the benefits of this program is to help reduce landfill volume and incineration, lowers the tipping fees for the borough, and supports regional sustainability goals. The other program is the Straw Bale Reuse Initiative Program. We're offering free straw bales to Kenilworth residents for repurpose for gardening, composting, seasonal decor. And the benefits of that is to divert material from the recycling yard, encouraging community reuse and reduce hauling and processing costs. Both initiatives demonstrate low-cost, high-impact strategies that align with our environmental and fiscal priorities, and the community response has been very positive. Also on the agenda this evening, you're going to see that we have a public hearing for the year 52 Community Development Block Grant applications. Municipalities are required to hold public hearings for CDBG funds to gather citizen input. Kenilworth is eligible for ADA, senior, and public health projects. The ongoing programs that we're applying for are to aim to offset the tax burden for the residents while providing essential activities, health and wellness programs for the seniors, and improving accessibility at intersections through ADA programs, the Curb Grant program. Both programs have been going on for a number of years. And on a personal note, Chief, it's a good thing. I just wanted to commend, I would like to commend the character of your department. A few days ago, I'm going home and I'm stuck in traffic. It's dark, I'm cranky. It's just one of those days. And then as I get closer to the intersection of Michigan and the Boulevard, I see 3 of our finest out there. They're helping a disabled vehicle. I believe it was Officer Almeida. I think it was Officer Scarice, and I don't know who the third one was. Do you know who was on?
It was Officer Crispo.
Okay, and the fact that they, got out of their cars, they made sure everybody was protected, and they helped this individual get his car out of the intersection and over to the gas station where, they could be serviced or whatever needed to happen. It just made me feel good to see that our guys were out there on that personal level, taking that extra step, and I just wanted to commend your department.
Oh, nice.
He's a lot better shape than I am.
That's because you didn't, but you're going to be.
And that is all I have. this
Laura,
evening.
Okay,
can I
thank
ask
you.
Yeah.
Can we have a little background on ordinance 2025-14?
2025.
Steve Mabel would have you, helping.
Chief, you want to address that one?
Yes, not getting too specific with,
HIPAA?
there's a family that resides there that needs access to a transport bus that has to drop a gate, like for a family member to be taken to and from. The problem is, it's a narrow street, parking all lines, along the sides. Bus doesn't have anywhere to drop the gate.
It's dead end, too. It's a dead end as well.
It's a very difficult area, so to compromise at this moment in time, prior to obviously this going in, we tried to put a no parking sign or something up there, just to give them the ability to make this easier for the family. I have no problem with it. I'm going to switch this and go forward. It's a quality of life issue, and I totally believe it'd be the best thing for this family. So,
Thank you, Chief.
One question. We passed that, obviously, if they move or something, then that would be revoked?
that is
or-
specific to that home.
Yes.
It's going to be specific, I believe, I think we're doing certain hours, I think that is
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, just during certain hours, and I believe it's just 15 feet.
Yes, and this is right in front of their own home. So it's not like you're going to have the ability to just park a car there. That's not what the people are looking for, the transport van to help them. So when they do, hopefully they don't have to leave Kenilworth, but if they do decide to, it's not needed anymore, we can always revoke it, pull it back, and change it back to what it was.
Great.
Councilman, to your question, we have done that in the past, where if there has been for lack of a better word, privilege assigned, when that person who it was assigned for relocates, it is revoked.
Is there a mechanism like it's automatic notification, or do we have to rely on them to notify you?
I can tell you in my experience of being here for about 30 years, we've only had probably 2 or 3 times that we actually got through this. If somebody actually leaves, we pretty much know who the person is. My guys go down the street, we know who's supposed to be parking there. This is specific to that location for a van. If the van is no longer down there, we can always knock on the door and say what's going on. So well, we will monitor the situation as we move forward. So more times than not, they contact us and say, listen, we're no longer needing this. The people understand, we're doing them a favor by putting this there, cut us the courtesy of letting us know if we need it. So, don't have much to do.
Thank you, Chief.
So next up, Mayor, we have the public hearing.
With a public hearing for Year 52 Community Development Block Grant applications for the Senior Citizen Social Services and Health Program with request of $22,000 and the ADA curb ramp upgrades at $30,000. Is there a motion to open the floor for a public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Boyle, seconded by Councilman Scarice. Does anyone have anything to say regarding this public hearing on these two block grant applications? Please come forward. Okay, seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close the floor for public hearing.
Motion.
Motion made by Councilman Fenestrella, seconded by Councilman Piper. Is there a motion to approve the priorities as listed?
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Piper, seconded by Councilman Scarice. Next for council consideration is a consent agenda consisting of resolutions 25-233 through 25-246.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilman Scarice. Roll call?
Resolutions 25-233 through 25-246 have been approved by one motion. All items will be reported individually and full in the minutes. Councilman Boyle?
Yes.
Councilman Fenestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Giordano Picerno?
Yes.
Councilman Morrow?
Yes.
Councilman Piper?
Yes.
And Councilman Scarice.
Yes.
Motion passes. There are two ordinances for introduction. The first up is ordinance 2025-07, an ordinance adopting amendments to Chapter 134 nuisances of the Municipal Code of the Borough of Kenilworth to update the borough's regulations relating to noise and sound, including the use of commercial construction activities on Sundays.
This ordinance outlines an amendment by the Borough of Kenilworth regarding noise regulations and construction activities. The amendments aim to clarify definitions of nuisances and adjust restrictions on construction activities. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2025-07 on introduction?
Mayor, can I speak to this ordinance for a moment? Thank you. As you recall, we had given introduction to an ordinance that spoke to this topic last month. And at that point in time, there was some language that I wasn't quite comfortable with. There was a resident that had expressed some concern through their attorney, and their attorney had pointed out some DEP-related noise regulations, which while they don't control, they did lend some insight and some reasonable constraints on noise that I felt would have been more appropriate to incorporate into this ordinance. Due to their help and their concern, I also shared this ordinance with them before introduction this evening, just to see what their input was, because their input, it's meaningful. It doesn't mean that we accept it, but collaboration, I think, is always a better product in the end. By way of reference, this ordinance breaks down noises in a couple different sections. The first section is general. The second is like instruments and PA equipment. The third is light equipment. The next is heavy equipment, and then there's animals. The general gist along these regulations are that a noise that travels 50 feet onto a neighboring residential property and is plainly audible could be a nuisance. Some of them are regulated by time, others aren't. The attorney had made two suggestions. The first was that the plainly audible regulation shouldn't extend 50 feet onto another property to be a nuisance. It should be a nuisance at the property line. I thought that was way, way too restrictive. I mean, that means that if someone's talking on their property line and someone could hear it across the property line, they can claim that that's a nuisance. So, and I did circulate an email this morning with the administrator just to show that there was a conversation with them, but I was going to speak to it this evening. The second comment that they had was with respect to section number 4, which relates to PA systems, musical instruments, that they wanted no time. They suggested that at no time during the day would it be permitted for the noise to travel 50 feet into a neighbor's property. We had expressed discussion about that previously. We discussed the fact that a neighbor could have a pool party or something like that, and if the noise were to travel 50 feet, that wouldn't be unexpected, but maybe the better way to regulate that would be by time restriction. So the time restriction that we had suggested, and I thought that the council felt was appropriate, was Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. You can't have that much noise. And then Sunday, 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. So
I mean Friday, Saturday.
On Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. So I just wanted to bring to your attention what suggestions were and what my belief on it from a legal perspective is. Essentially that is consistent with the way that the ordinance is here this evening. So if you agree with what my take on it is, then you can accept this ordinance as it is. If you want to take into consideration what was articulated to me and suggest a change, we could change it now with it not being any type of delay. We could modify it and introduce it as modified.
Does anyone have any changes they'd like to make to this ordinance or any input?
Mark, what is you're saying you want to eliminate the distance?
I don't.
Oh, that was suggested, but you don't want to.
It was suggested, and I don't think that that's
Yeah,
reasonable. Because I
agreed.
think that even the way that I'm speaking right now, if I was near my property line, you'd be able to hear it across the property line.
Yeah, that's definitely too restrictive. And do you also feel at 100 feet, that would be someone's entire property, that wouldn't be good either? Because initially we had that, but that would encompass, especially this particular...
Given the size of the average lot in Kenilworth, that wouldn't seem to be much of a regulation. I'm not an engineering expert. Maybe the volume that would be necessary for it to be plainly audible at 100 feet is more disturbing when you're at 50 feet.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah, the lots are
the
50.
50-foot distance is what the DEP had regulated, and without me eliciting the assistance of an expert, that seemed to be a reasonable distance to rely upon, and even the attorney that I had communicated with didn't take exception to it until they saw this draft, and then they wanted it to be tighter, which I think is certainly unreasonable.
Yes.
I understand their position, you know, I'm not casting fault, but like I said, if there was a property line separating me from you and I was speaking at this level, you'd hear it, and under their suggestion, that'd be a nuisance. And I don't see under any circumstance that that would be reasonable.
Mark, on the same token, during the permissible hours, it's not unlimited noise, correct? We're not allowing unlimited. We're just saying-
Correct. We're saying that this is what it is as a nuisance. If there's disturbing the peace, then the police department can act on that at any point in time. Chief, if you disagree with me, please let me know.
This has been a long ongoing conversation.
You agree with that one statement?
I'm going to defer to the council on their decision. We've discussed this, I've supplied my input, and I think at this point, we're being counsel with them, and they need to come forward and take a look at that.
So you like it as is, correct?
I like it as it is.
Yeah, me too.
Is everybody comfortable with this as
Yes.
is? Okay, is there a motion to approve ordinance 2025-07 on introduction?
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Piper, seconded by Councilman Scurries.
Councilman Boyle?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Giordano Serna?
Yes.
Councilman Morrow?
Yes.
Councilman Piper?
Yes.
Councilman Scurries?
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-07 will be scheduled for public hearing and adoption at the December 3rd, 2025 council meeting at 6 p.m. Motion passes. Next for council consideration is an ordinance for introduction, 2025-14, amending the existing Chapter 190-34 Vehicles and Traffic, Schedule 2, no parking certain hours by specifying an additional area to the code of the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey.
The purpose of this ordinance is to effectuate safe ambulatory transportation for a developmentally disabled person located at the residence. It requires 15 feet of no parking during certain hours that coordinate with the individual's pickup and drop-off times, Monday to Friday. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2025 on introduction?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Giordano Paserno, seconded by Councilman Scurries. Roll call?
Councilman Boyle?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Giordano Paserno?
Yes.
Councilman Morrow?
Yes.
Councilman Piper?
Yes.
Councilman Scurries?
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-14 will be scheduled for public hearing and adoption at the December 3rd, 2025 council meeting at 6 p.m. Motion passes.
Yeah, I'd like a motion to open the floor to the public.
Motion. Second.
Motion made by Councilman Boyle, seconded by Councilman Finestrella. Does anyone have anything to say for the good and well-being of Kenilworth? Please come forward and state your name and address. Commander?
I just wanted everybody to know, we have our day of service this Saturday, November 8th. Breakfast is at 8 a.m. at the coast, and then at 9 o'clock we go to Graceland Cemetery and we put flags on all the veterans' graves. We provide the flags, all right? And then, of course, on the 11th, Tuesday the 11th, Veterans Day, we have at 11 o'clock, we have our services. So an invite extended. I know Laura gave Laura a copy of the letter to you all, and again, we hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one, I'd like a motion to, oh, there's one more. Up, come on up, sir.
Just come here to just follow up with my email sent to you and Mayor.
Can we just have your name and address, please, sir?
My name is Vijay Patel. I'm living on 19 Dorset Drive.
19 Dorset, okay.
And I have some issue about like a tree in my property. And I keep talking to the public department over more than years. And they keep sending me email like, they're trying that they can take care soon, but nothing happened. And the last email I got from the superintendent on September 15, they say they will send somebody soon. So it's almost over 50 days now. And everybody knows what issue. So I don't have to repeat again everything. And I sent email to you too on September 4th. So if you-
Yep,
if
it's
you
up.
look at it, I spoke with him last 27th, and also like one day, yeah, and we go.
Well, our tree budget needs to be funded more.
I believe the issue is the
Yeah,
tree is
more.
Funded
in
more, yeah.
your tree is in the creek when you showed me the picture.
Yeah.
Yes, in that
And that's the issue, it's not,
Well, okay.
it's,
Because
We'll have Greg weigh in on
So
this.
I called Mr. Patel within a week or so ago, and I explained to him that we were informed by the borough engineer that creeks that run in residential properties belong to the property owners that they border. And that the borough will only maintain trees in creek beds if they're within 10 feet of the edge of a road, or it crosses underneath the road, because that's our right of way, or if the creek beds run directly in borough property. And he said, okay, on the phone, and now this is the next conversation.
I'm sorry, you might call, I came to your office, it's almost 1.5 months back, not the last week. You never called me. I came all the time, I come on your office and we talk. I never received any call from you. I called the priest and he maybe said, forwarding to your email, and this is the last email I received. I have a copy here.
Okay, so Greg, are you saying that the tree is not the responsibility of the borough?
Based on what the engineer told us the last time, yes. Unless the borough wants to reconsider that. But we are all in agreement that I believe at the time, not 100% sure how it was left, but I do know when the borough engineer said it's not, and when you refer to the tax maps, it just says drainage easement, which he defined it as you're not allowed to build on it. Doesn't mean that belongs to the property owner. And we can verify with the tax code on how they're built, but that was the last time it was left.
And I left the message to the borough engineer, also email, he never replied anything yet.
Okay, well,
When I spoke with him, and he talked to me like almost more than 1.5 months back in his office, the next day I sent email as well as I leave the message in the voicemail. And he's never responded me anything yet too.
Well,
I
I-
never received any response from anybody.
Greg, is it possible for you to
And-
get with Tony maybe tomorrow or Friday the latest, and at least give him a definitive answer? If it's something that we cannot touch because of its position, at least he knows from that point.
Yeah.
Either way, this way you know how to proceed.
Okay.
Because it is very
I understand.
clear on what we are allowed as a
Yeah, I
borough
understand.
to get involved.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but town used to do before, and even a couple months and back, they have a tree falls and another tree, a tree, other side of the property. If the borough does not have responsibility, they also need too, so like 1.5 months back. So I don't know who's right or who's wrong.
Right. Well, I think Greg can meet with Tony, too bad we didn't know this earlier when he was here, but they'll give you an answer on, as to which way to go, and if it is not the borough responsibility, and it does fall on the county, maybe they could give you the appropriate phone number of person to reach out to get some resolution.
So I have received an email here, the people come, everybody have a picture and everything. If he's there, why, how long he stayed? I understand.
Yeah,
And I'm talking about almost more than years.
okay. Well, from today,
That's why I came here.
he'll get you an answer, he'll speak with the borough engineer and get you an answer.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close the floor for public discussion.
Motion.
Second?
Okay. Are there any other items anyone else would like to discuss?
I have a few, please. We just mentioned the tree budget, so I'll just note that the last couple of years, Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, we've infused money into that budget because we've seen need. So it's not that the budget
All
wasn't
right,
there.
so then
We
I want to ask
actually-
that question because I was told that the tree budget was 85,000 cut to 35,000 the last
Yeah,
several years.
We went over
Is
that at multiple meetings. Last year, when the budget was cut from prior year spending, we infused it in later in the year.
So
This
we
year,
added to the budget at the end of,
It was mid-year, not added to the budget for the next year, used that year for services that
Okay.
year, 2024. This year, we did the same thing. So we've been fully funding. If it's more that's necessary, we're happy to hear about it.
Yeah, I think we
don't
have
think we
to,
can keep jumping
to
to
address
spending
it.
money on problems. We need to come up with other solutions, because we have been funding this to the full levels.
okay,
So I
good,
do
I'm
wanna
glad
note
to
that.
hear that. I think we have to discuss that because there are a lot of barrel trees that are in,
This was exactly why I made my statement at the
Yeah.
beginning of my report. We vote on budgets as a governing body. These are presented to the governing body. There are chances for everybody to review and make comment as a governing body. If it's not done, if there's no dissent, it
well, I think we're
passes.
talking about it now, so I think that we have to
The
address
appropriate time to
this.
talk about is when the budget comes out, and as issues come up, we've infused the money in. I am making a note that that has happened. It is noted that you thought that there was less money than was necessary. I'm correcting the statement in my time. Thank you. I actually would like to thank Bob Walters myself, because as a parent in town, I've got 3 kids that he used to cross multiple times a day. He managed thousands of cars a week. You're not kidding. You saw him from blocks away, and always had a smile, always calm, always patient with the most rowdy children as well. And the angry parents trying to get to work or doing whatever they're doing. I've watched him manage cars cutting across the boulevard from the other side. It's going to be hard to replace him, but I tell you, Chief, you've got other great crossing guards there as well, and I think they all care for the kids, just like Bob did. So you're hiring the right people, thank you. And Bob will be sorely missed.
You gotta find me another giraffe.
All right, and lastly, just on a personal note, I just want to thank the people of Kenilworth for yesterday's results. It means a lot to me to serve this town, and for the confidence that you put in me and Sabino to do it for another 3 years. It means the world to me, and I will not let you down, so thank you. That's it, Mayor.
I would also like to thank the town of Kenilworth for entrusting us the stewardship of trying to maintain Kenilworth, and to serve is a great honor and privilege.
And like Billy said, we will continue.
Both Chiefs and Greg.
The best is yet to come. I think the next few years are going to be really good. We're on a good trajectory, and we're going to make sure that we got it and keep it that way for the town.
Well, I'd like to congratulate Councilman, I did already, but again, Councilman Scarice and Councilman Morrow on their reelection. I also would like to congratulate our Governor-elect, Mickey Sherrill, and I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving as well. But I think we do have an executive session this evening, just to let everyone know.
I would just like to make, happy Thanksgiving.
You want to wait? Okay, yeah. Joe, no, you can't bring a newspaper, Joe.
I just can't believe it wasn't mentioned in the last council meeting. I got the Kenilworth Life, and there was an interesting article on the front page about former Livio Mancino as the mayor of Kenilworth,
Yep.
who served 3 terms. He was in the Army. He was on the Board of Ed for 10 years. Was on the Senior Citizens, and he was also a member of the Knights of Columbus, so...
I believe he was the only mayor to serve 3 terms as well.
Really?
Okay. I'd like to, yep.
Real quick, I just want to address our whole program that we completed this year, the pilot. I promised you guys that I would have a comparison from previous years. In 2023, when we had 2 pickups, once in the spring, once in the fall, the borough collected 330.03 tons of bulk waste. And in 2024, when we did it just once, we collected 232 tons of bulk waste. By putting a limit on the
I know,
residents,
this is a waste of time.
and we did over 6 collections, we totaled for 2025 75.56 tons. Now, that's a much lower number by a lot, and like I said, it was a pilot program. We wanted to make sure that with our limited manpower, that we were able to get it done in one day. And I'm working with my DPW committee on better program for next year to kind of like a hybrid on our bulk, where we pick some up or they can bring it to us, but still keep the cost down for our residents. Because we got to do this right, so we got to make sure that when we had the contractors do it, yes, it was easier, but it wasn't policed in a manner of speaking. So they were throwing scrap metal out, anything recyclable, and it was all going to landfill. So this pilot program is, yes, we picked up less bulk waste, but every time we picked up bulk, we picked up a full 30-yard dumpster of scrap metal. Each month we did bulk waste. So that would have been more waste if we hadn't let a contractor, because they wouldn't separate anything. So doing this helps save items out of landfills, lowers our tipping fees, because bulk waste is $119 a ton. So we get $3 of that back every year through our recycling tonnage grant, $3 per ton, and we can save more if we separate it and recycle it the proper way. So, like I said, I'm working with my community. Hopefully we'll have something for our next meeting to lay out for 2026, and probably have a better year next year for our residents.
Hey, Greg, can I ask some questions on that? Thank you. The number of items, do you envision it staying at 5?
Not really. We might be able to output up to like 6 or 7 items per household, but like I said, I'm working on a hybrid program where they can bring it to us too.
Okay, excellent. And as far as number of pickups, I think we had 2. We started though in May, so we almost lost 5 months of the year of what would have been time we could have done pickups earlier in the year. Do you envision that we'd have more than 2 per zone?
If we were to do more than 2 pickups per zone, it would have to be more than once a month. And because bulk was never really considered a normal practice, a normal routine practice for DPW, I'm worried that the rest of our services that we offer will suffer. So that's why I'm going to stick to the 1 month, because we're doing it in the growing season. So we've got to worry about grass, the trees, street sweeping, maintaining our sewer lines, because they have to be jetted on a regular basis. So
I know from going door to door in what we were doing for the last few months, bulk was an issue. Number of items and number of pickups through the year were pretty much the complaints. Communication about it too, and I think we could probably do more there as well. So I just wanted to share with you some of the things I heard from residents as we were talking to them. On the finance side of it, Ken, we talked about this just the other day. $50,000 was saved because of this pilot program. So I'm not so concerned about the increased tippage fees because we can absorb that. We've been saving money because of this great idea. So keep that in mind, I think, if you're worried about that. And that's kind of my feedback for you. And I thought that the program went well. Just there are a few things people didn't understand about it. I'd love to give it another try. I don't know how the rest of the council feels in the committee when you meet. I thought it went very well, so thanks, Greg.
Yeah, the tipping fees were cut by 60% from last year. So there is room for us to improve on that.
6% because we went from 232 tons to 75. Yeah, so it's a volume issue.
Right.
So I wouldn't worry about doing more pickups. I understand the stress on operations. That's a different consideration. Just, if it's a budget thing because of the tonnage fees, we're actually saving money with this.
Right, we're saving money, and as long as my overall budget for tipping fees doesn't go down, because that also is affected by IB10 waste, which is your household trash. As long as that number doesn't go down, the budget will never be an issue. It's more of operational standpoint, which is why I want to create a hybrid program. And as far as education goes, I'm working with my staff to redo our newsletter to make it a little bit bigger. So instead of having it on glossy paper, just have it on regular paper to say costs, and then we can add extra pages in there for more information for our programs, and we give more detailed information for the residents, so everything's more clear cut moving forward.
The tipping fees that you were talking about here, how are you funding them? They're coming out of your regular budget for tipping fees, even if it's the bulk?
Yeah,
that's a win-win.
Our budget for tipping fees covers bulk waste and regular household trash. Whether it's...
But in prior years, we were
dumpsters.
contracting for
Yeah, but the contracting fees came out of the same budget line.
For the tipping fees?
Came out of the tipping fees.
Okay, so the reduction there is truly the volume?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Greg, thank you. I got a really good understanding of this, and I don't know how everybody else feels, but...
I got a question.
You picked it up.
Greg, there's a big difference in tonnage. Now, what if you combine like the recycling, because that would have been included in the 230 tons, does that bring the numbers pretty much closer to where they were? If you added the recycling?
Yeah, we'll
is that
probably add
possible?
another, because it's all fluffed, because you really can't crush scrap metal, it's harder to crush it than it is like a piece of furniture. But I think we were averaging about 4 or 5 tons on the scrap metal, and that also generates revenue for the town too. So we were averaging anywhere from $300 to $500 a transfer on the 30-yard scrap metal dumpster. But we're going to see a cost savings there too, because I'm switching vendors. The vendor we're currently using charges a transfer fee for the dumpster. The vendor I'm going to switch to is I have it in writing, he's eliminating, not going to charge us a transfer fee on the dumpster and give us a higher cost per ton.
That's good.
A higher payout per ton.
The other thing is, I think the confusion is defining what's a piece, like if you have a bunch of smaller pieces, maybe, that does a lot of confusion, I've noticed with people.
Any resident who's ever called me, called my office, I've explained it to them, how I define an item. So if you have a wooden bed frame, if you tie it together, it's an item, right? Tie multiple pieces together, that's one item. If you have a swing set, if you broke it down in pieces, or a dresser broke it down in pieces to make it easier to carry out, we can see that and we would say, yes, it's one item. So it's not so much about size, it's just the items. And we did that because we didn't want to see what I got so many complaints about, other people that just literally filling their house up. When I got here in June, we had our bulk in September or October of 23. And the contract's going here, says one house put out 20 toilets. And then in 24, someone bought a house on auction, and the person left every one of their belongings in there. He literally emptied the house in the front lawn during bulk. Every room, every stick of furniture, every cabinet, everything. And I couldn't tell them no,
because we didn't have an ordinance restricting the amount of items going out there. That's why our bulk was so heavily taxed on us in prior years, because it was a free-for-all.
And obviously, a resident wouldn't have 20 toilets.
I spoke with many superintendents within Union County. We're all connected together through the New Jersey Public Works Association, and they all say the same thing. Bulk programs are designed to get rid of your random items here and there, not for you to clean house. It's, oh, I want to redo my living room. Okay, I'm throwing out my living room set. Here, you guys gonna pick it up for me. Where I live, they don't offer that. So I have to get rid of it. Household trash, sewer, bulk, everything's out of carte for me where I live, so.
Well, it's like that in a lot of towns.
One last thing, I know we changed this ordinance like it's 2 years ago, still got the old signs up there, and I'm afraid we get snow and there's gonna be mass confusion. We haven't gotten the word out sufficiently, and the signage hasn't changed, so maybe we...
We're working with a vendor right now to get that done. He's currently getting the proofs to me for the signs.
Okay.
We hope to have them up before December, and we're also going to put that ordinance in our newsletter. That's why I want to revamp it and make it bigger, so we can put all these new changes in there to keep residents informed.
Okay, that'd be good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, is that all?
Everyone else
thank
has any
you.
questions? I'm good.
Okay, there will be no formal action taken after executive session. I'd like a motion to enter executive session.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilwoman Giordano Picerno. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.